Hello world, this is Jeffrey, JGB146 Blake, and today we're going to step back to Bulu-Volt. I know we were supposed to do a review video actually yesterday, looking at the matches from our Alolan Ninetales deck, but I haven't yet gotten any feedback from anyone, so I don't know who to give the Alolan Ninetales to. So I guess first person to spot a mistake gets it, unless I decide it's been too long. Aside from that, I will go ahead and finish reviewing the videos myself, but it's going to take me a little bit more time. So with that, going back, doing some Bulu-Volt action, we're looking at a revised list from John Roberts II. He made some adjustments, and I've incorporated them. That was the wrong tab. We'll take a look. Just quickly going through, I'm assuming you know how Bulu-Volt works, so we're not going to go over everything. But the main differences in this list compared to the other one we've been running is we no longer have any of our tech cards, basically. So no Vikavolt GX, it's just 3 Vikavolts. No Tapu Koko GX, we have 2 baby Kokos. Other than that, we have the 1 Shaymin, the 2 Lele's, 313 line of Vikavolts, and 3 Tapu Bulus, and that's our Pokemon. Expanding a little bit, we're going back to our original 1 Energy Recycler. This has been a little bit problematic for me from time to time, but usually if you conserve your resources, it's okay. The one time that I ran into trouble, I started with half energy, a Sycamore, and then the Energy Recycler. And it's like, okay, that was the hand that was just trouble. But anyway, Energy Recycler. We have added an Escape Rope, as well as the 2 switches that we've been running. Still have the 2 Field Blower, Heavy Ball. The Nest Ball is back in. I talked to John Roberts II about this, and he said that there are times that it has come in clutch for him to speed up his setup, so I put it back in for now. I could see still I may decide to take it out, swap it, and I'll talk to him about that soon. We've got the standard Rare Candy for Ultra Ball. Supporter line is unchanged from Bridget, 2 Lysandre, 2 N, 1 Fan Club, 2 Sycamore, and 3 Skyla. Our tools line is different. That's the big difference. We went down to 2 Choice Bands, and now instead of Floatstones, we're running 3 Fighting Fury Belts. The Fighting Fury Belt is a really powerful addition. Even though it can be field blowered away if your opponent has a field blower when they're attacking for 180, it adds a complication to the piece of the puzzle that they need to solve in order to KO Tapu Bulu or any attacker. And if they can't, Bulu's suddenly able to withstand a lot of stuff that was one-hit KOing it before. You know, the 180 hit points meant that a Zoroark Break could come in and one-shot him, copying Nature's Judgment and discarding 1 energy. With a Fighting Fury Belt, even if that Zoroark Break has a Choice Band, he still can't one-shot Bulu. With a Fighting Fury Belt, even if Alolan Ninetales comes in, has a Kukui and a Choice Band, still can't take down Bulu. With the Fighting Fury Belt, Drampa can't take you down. Espeon can't take you down. So a lot of things that can hit the 180, 190 numbers can't take down a basic that has a Fighting Fury Belt attached. Again, yes, they can have a Field Blower, but it's not consistent that they will. And if you're conservative about your energies, you can also probably be conservative about your tools, and attaching them in the right times can really make all the difference. So that's the updated list. We'll go ahead and get a match with it. Okay, so we see Water, Fire, Psychic, and Colors. This is probably going to be an Espeon Garb list. the lovely start of a Tapu Lele. So we'll go ahead and click done. And we do see an Eevee come out, so that confirms what we had thought about seeing Tapu Lele. Since we do have a Heavy Ball and Rare Candy in hand, we might, well, we get an in. Okay. Alrighty. We get two Professor Sycamores, a Grass Energy, a Heavy Ball, and a Candy. I guess with the Heavy Ball, we will grab a Bulu. And then we'll attach the Grass Energy to Bulu and then just play the Sycamore. I don't like doing this because we're losing pieces of Vikavolt, but it's going to be a long time before we can play anything if we don't. And now I think our best bet is to I think we're going to Ultra Ball and drop, I guess, the 2 Lightning Energy. That feels really bad, but we need to start our Grubbin line. This may be a moot point. If our opponent gets a DCE, they can just divide GX and kill off our 1 Grubbin, but we'll react accordingly. From here, we could play the switch. I guess we want to play the switch, throw the Choice Band on, and start doing some damage to the Espeon. Downside is that he can confuse us, but we're already going to be kind of climbing an up, or we're climbing. It's an uphill battle for us already. So it looks like we may well see that Divide GX come down, but not before we get an in, which is quite welcome for us. We see our opponent evolve up into a Flareon. They may be unaware that Flareon literally does nothing in this matchup, because anything that's going to be able to attack as a stage 1 is going to do enough to our Grubbin that the weakness there is inconsequential. Okay, so we can bench another Grubbin, and I don't think Skyla can in any way get us our Rare Candy combination. But what Skyla can do so if we play Skyla to Ultra Ball for a Shaymin, we can get card draw from that, and that card draw could maybe help us out. What's our item count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so far. So this will be 6, 7. More than I'd like it to be, but we got a fairly rough start. The nest ball here, I'm playing to get, I think another Bulu is warranted. I think I'm going to attach to the benched Bulu, and then I'm going to Ultra Ball, discard the Lysandre, and one of the grass energies. We're getting Shaymin. We're really hoping we can hit a Rare Candy and a Vikavolt off of these 5 cards. Play down Shaymin and see what we get. And we do. We get Rare Candy, we get Vikavolt. Rare Candy, that's another item gone. Vikavolt. And 140 means we can heal. We'll go ahead and attach the Fighting Fury Belt. Strong Charge to get our last Grass Energy and a Lightning Energy. Put them both onto the active. And then we will Tapu Wilderness GX for the KO and to fully heal ourselves. See, our opponent brings out a Trubbish, immediately attaches an energy and plays a Sycamore. So if he gets, I'm assuming he'll get a Garbodor there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 item cards. So he'll be 1 short unless he gets a Field Blower or a Choice Band. So he is going to take a KO on Bulu, and he'll be able to take a 1-hit KO going forward on Bulu as well, which is a little rough. Oh, he didn't take the KO because he didn't have a Field Blower. I keep doing that. We're going to go ahead, manually attach here, and we're going to Strong Charge just a Lightning Energy onto the benched Bulu. If I were to Skyla for anything, it wouldn't pay off, so I'm not going to bother. Do we want to discard energy? No. Our opponent is going to have to make something happen with the 1 card they have in their hand. We see a Via Seeker. That was their 1 card, I assume, for an N. Unfortunately, this does mean that we don't have immediate access to an Energy Recycler. However, fortunately, we have a powered up Bulu on the bench, is what I was going to say. So that match worked pretty well. We just kind of outsped our opponent there. They weren't fortunate enough to draw into what they needed, and they were kind of silly in evolving to the Flareon. So I wanted to get the video out. After that quick match, I went ahead and produced the video to get it online, so that it was online for viewing on Tuesday, so we didn't miss too many days. But while it was being rendered, I got another match that was Espeon Garb, and I was able to record that one as well, so we'll take a look at it too. It's also quick, so that works out as well. But with that, we'll go ahead and get into the next match. Okay, so we see Lightning, Colorless, and Fire. Again, that's often going to be Espeon Garb. So if this works out, then we'll have an additional match in the video that's currently uploading. We'll have to edit it or something. Okay, so nice start with Tapu Koko. Getting a Bulu on the bench is nice. And we'll click done. We do get to go first. And yep, here's Garb. So unless there's like a Trampa and a Turtonator, This is Espeon Garb. Lots of mulligans. I wonder if he's playing a lower count of basics or something. Okay, so we see Pokemon come out. We'll take all these mulligans, get extra cards, because they're yummy. Okay, cool. We get energy to start off with. And our opponent starts a Lele, which doesn't confirm what we're getting. So I go ahead, I attach the lightning energy to Koko, figuring that we can spread damage that way. And then I'm going to grab one Grubbin and a Bulu, I think. I didn't grab two Grubbins because I think it's very unlikely that the Grubbin will get knocked out on turn 1 if this is really either Garb variant. So, and we know it's a Garb variant, so I think we're okay. I'm going to go ahead and attach the Fighting Fury Belt to Bulu. There's a small part of me that thinks attaching it to Koko would be better, but I think this is okay. And the next turn, if he doesn't in us, we'll be able to Skyla for a Rare Candy and get our Grubbin. There's in. I was like, we'll get Grubbin, we'll get the Grass Energy attached. Well, Grubbin, we'll get Vikavolt and Rare Candy to go ahead and get things going. But he ends us into another Skyla and a Rare Candy, so now we can Skyla for a Heavy Ball. So that works. So we will be able to take a KO on Lele this... Wait, no, not this turn. Because we don't have the extra energy. If we had attached the Grass Energy to Bulu last turn, we would be able to take a KO this turn. That might be a slight mistake. What I think we'll do, though, is go ahead and get Vikavolt set up, and then we'll Strong Charge and do like a Grass Energy onto Bulu, and then an Electric Energy onto Koko, and spread some damage that way. There's really an argument that the Fighting Fury Belt would have been better on Koko. But I can kind of go either way. And that's one of the things I'm going to ask John Roberts about. So go ahead, attack with a Flying Flip, and we'll see what happens next. We get some Float Stones coming out and a Sycamore. That means our hand is safe. That means even if he gets Garbotoxin up, we can get rid of it. So that's good. We do see Espeon coming out. And we see an Ultra Ball. I'm guessing that this is going to get a Garbo... There we go. Garbotoxin Garbodor. Alrighty. So, what's next? Alright, abilities are turned off. We can just Field Blower. Get rid of that. And there's another Field Blower for us. So I think we just Field Blower away both Float Stones. Does add another item, but I think it's just like 3 items in our discard now. So we'll go ahead and Strong Charge to get Bulu totally loaded up. We do only have 1 Electric Energy left in our deck currently. So that means some are prized. I didn't check our prizes. I really should have. So we can go ahead and retreat into Bulu. Not have to worry about the confusion. But even if we discard all of our energy, we're still only going to do 190. That's not a KO. So I think we want to go ahead, get rid of the Garbotoxin Garb. And this way, unless he has a Rescue Stretcher in hand, we're in good shape going into the next turn. Because we have... Look, there's Choice Band too, so that's nice. If we happen to top deck a Grass Energy, the other Bulu could come in and take a KO. Okay, so we see, yeah, 3 items. Okay, and we see our opponent take a Sycamore. and just concede. So he didn't get what he wanted off of the Sycamore, but he was also really far behind there. I know we just had the 1 KO, but we were fully set up. And even though he didn't know it, we did have Field Blower Choice Band in hand. So we were guaranteed another KO on anything we wanted next turn, because we could have Field Blowered off the Fighting Fury Belt to attach a Choice Band to KO Espeon, and anything else we just KO without that. So we were in really good shape, and he was not going to be able to catch up unless he got a miracle. So that was a quick match, but we'll go ahead and wrap things up today. I do, however, want to mention what is coming later this week, or possibly early next week, depending. So first off, we're going to alternate between Bulu-Volt lists, and I don't know whether we'll entirely focus on John Roberts' new list or if we'll go back to the adjusted one that I have. But we'll have some of that mixed in with some Alolan Ninetales content, so we'll do a bit of both. And then, as noted, I've been talking to John Roberts II, and he's actually going to come on the show and do an interview with us. So we're going to talk about the differences in his new list versus his old list, talk a little bit about his thoughts on the text that we made into his previous list, and if and when any of those should apply or would be good in the new list. And then finally, he's actually agreed to go through and review a match with me. So we'll get that loaded up. We'll get his thoughts on a match there. And we'll have all of that for you later this week. Or, like I said, early next week. Because I'm not entirely sure when his schedule will allow him to jump on board with us. But with that, we'll wrap up for today. I'll see you next time.